Oh, hi. Welcome to Armed Dad. Thank you again for joining me. As always, I'm your host, Warren. I've been in the firearm space for somewhere around 20 years. Damn, I'm getting old. Anyway, everything from hunting to target shooting to doing some different classes to having some fun shoots with friends. I have been a avid gun owner for years. I've also been an avid Second Amendment supporter for years. And I just wanted to bring some of my knowledge and the things I learned as I go to you guys. So, what do we have for you today? Well, my friends, we have the battle of the micro compact pistols. That's what I'm looking for. That's the phrase that we're talking about, micro compact pistols, not the other thing. Anyway, when you think of micro compact pistols, carry guns, there's a few that are on your mind. But what I have for you today is two of what I would consider the kind of top contenders in the space. That is the Glock 43 and the Sig P365. Now, why do I consider these kind of the top two contenders? Well, when you talk about them, these two are probably some of the most talked about ones. Now, there are other ones. I'm not saying there's not. I have owned some of the other ones, but these two, in my mind, are the ones typically people look at. Now, why do people look at pistols like this? Well, it's because they're easily carried. They're easy to conceal. They're great carry pistols, and to be honest, they're comfortable. Okay, they're not hard to dress around. They're not hard to conceal. They're not hard to get a holster and stick in your pocket. And I said, get a holster and stick it in your pocket. I did not say stick it in your pocket. Don't. Anyway, so let's talk about these two pistols and get started on this comparison, shall we? So, weighing in at 16.23 ounces in the red corner is the Glock 43. Now, this has a single stack magazine of 6+1. Basically, you might as well go grab a 1911 and carry a 45 with 45 rounds stacked that way. But anyway, we're not getting into that yet. It's reasonable. It's a good amount of ammo. There's a lot of them on the market that are single stack 9mm, and I did carry this for quite a while, so I got no problem with it. 6+1, still respectable number. It's got a barrel length of 3.41 inches. Okay, so respectable size for a micro. Anyway, the overall length is 6.26 inches, so it does grow a little bit when you look at the overall. Okay. The width on this bad boy is 1.06 inches, nice and thin. Again, perfect for concealed carry inside the waistband, in a holster in your pocket. Anyway, let's move on to the contender and see what we think about that one. Well, let's talk about the specs on it a little bit. So this is the Sig P365. Now, the standard version would come with a double stacked 10+1. They have the pinky extension and it has the flat. The one I bought is the TAC Pack model. It comes with 3 12+1 mags, and I'll tell you why I did that in a little bit, but we're just going over the basics here. Respectable carry size, a respectable double stack. It makes sense. More ammunition means more chances to defend yourself. Anyway, the barrel length on this is 3.1 inches, so it's just a little bit smaller when it comes to the micro department. And the overall length, again, grows a little bit with 5.8 inches. So it's a little bit shorter, but come on, it's a carry pistol. We're not looking for extreme length here. We're not grabbing a full-size 4.5-inch 1911 or a 7-inch 357 Magnum. We're looking for a nice, comfortable carry pistol. So both of those are nice and respectable. Respectable, not respectful. They probably are respectful. But anyway, the width of this bad boy is also 1.06 inches. So while they both are around the same size, they're both around the same thickness. Again, a nice, comfortable pistol that you can carry in the waistband, outside the waistband, or in a holster in your pocket. Okay? So, now, now that we've got the basic specs out of the way, let's talk about why the P365 is the front runner. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about why the P365 is different from the Glock 43. Now that might seem obvious after what we've went through, but there are some other differences that you should be well aware of, because when it comes to choosing the right carry pistol, you want to know as much as you possibly can. So the Glock has decent grooves and a decent grip to it. It's kind of, this one has kind of the square texture on it. I've never had any issues with getting a good grip on this and hitting the target. But when you look at that versus what Sig did with the P365, real nice, real aggressive grips, but not so aggressive that it tears you up when you carry it. Very comfortable to shoot because of that. It holds real nicely, and there's no issues. Never had an issue with the Glock either. Not going to say I have, because that would be false information. Let's talk about the barrel length on these two, okay? So the barrel length, it's not even a factor. Not in my eyes. You're talking about a concealed carry pistol. Typically, self-defense is going to be somewhere within 10 yards of you. By the time you've assessed the threat, you're probably looking at 7 or 5 yards. By the time the threat is on you and you've drawn, you're somewhere between 0 to 5 yards. Okay, so you're not looking for immense target accuracy here. We're not looking for, can I hit a 1-inch grouping at 20 yards? No. No. Stop. You're looking at a self-defense pistol. Is what it is. So while the barrel length is a little bit longer in the Glock and a little bit shorter here in the Sig, there's really not enough of a difference there to really make it a change your mind factor. Now, if it is a change your mind factor, have at it. The Glock's where you want to go because it's got the longer barrel length. But if I might add, it also has less capacity. So what you make up for in that tiny little bit of accuracy you want to get, you're going to lose in the fact that you only get 6+1 rounds. So unless you're going to carry 3 or 4 magazines with you, you better hope you stop the threat in the first few. But if that hasn't sold you on why I think the Sig is the better of the two, here's another one for you. Let's talk about the sights. So this has the standard Glock sights. Now this has a U shape. It's got the nice bright white, which is fantastic for shooting during the day and when there's things that are colorful behind you. But if you move them into the white, they get a little bit harder to discern, especially in the moment. Now, again, carry pistol. Sights do not always come into play, but you're going to practice with it. You're probably going to need it. It is good for accuracy. The sights are decent on this. Good enough for the daytime. However, when it comes to nighttime, you don't have sights anymore. So, in that department, Sig takes the cake again. I'm going to say this word wrong, but we're going to try, and you can correct me in the comments because I know you all want to. Sig has the X-Ray 3 Tritium optics. Sights, sorry. Getting ahead of myself. Let's get the sights here. Now, during the daytime, they're easy to see as far as the front green one. The back is kind of dark into it, but you can really see that front bright green off of this. Now, at nighttime, these things glow. And when I say glow, I mean you can definitely tell where they are. But they don't glow in the sense of, ooh, a bright light in your face. They glow as in nice, perfect circles that you can use to aim. Absolutely love it. And if you don't like the fact that you have to use iron sights on your carry pistol, well, you can always go ahead and use the milled out top part for an optic. I don't. Personal preference. Now, when you're looking at these two pistols, there is definitely a difference. When you hold both of these pistols, they're definitely a little bit different. You can definitely feel that the P365 has a little bit more weight with that 22-ounce weight, and the 43 is a little bit lighter with the 16.23. It's not enough to notice it by any real like measurement. They feel very similar. When it comes to grip angles, though, the Glock kind of comes back into your hand a bit. It's got a the grip really extends. It's real flat and wide. Whereas the Sig, I'll put that on the stand there. Whereas the Sig has kind of a little bit thinner of a grip as far as width goes, but it fits the hand really nicely. I really like it. Now, it might not fit your hand great, but this is why you go check it out. Hold it for yourself. Feel the grip. See how it feels. One of the things on the Sig that does not come standard on all of them is the safety that you see here, the manual safety. I installed this one myself. I did buy the version that doesn't have it. Sig did something really cool that I'm going to talk about in a second that'll explain that. Anyway, I added the safety. Judge me if you want. Do it in the comments. Don't care. I have a reason for why I added the safety. I like the safety. Shut up. The Glocks, on the other hand, do not have a manual safety. They do have the nice depressed trigger safety. They have drop safety. They have all sorts of different other little, they got 3 safety, whatever Glock wants to say. There's no manual safety on the Glock. So if your concern is carrying a round in your pistol because you're new to firearms, you can get a safetied version of the P365, or you can buy the P365 and have somebody put the safety on for you and buy the $70 frame and put the one on there that's got the cutouts for it, because the one that doesn't have the safety does not have the cutouts. I did mine myself. There's a video at some point, but it didn't turn out well. There's a lot of videos online that show you how to do it. Don't cut into it if you do it. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. What we're here to talk about is these two different pistols. So when you look at it, having the safety on is nice. I like it. If that's one of your factors here, you got to go with the Sig because you can't put one on your Glock. Now, both of these do have different versions available. You have the 43X. It's got a little bit more extension to it. It's got a little bit more capacity to it. It's a little bit bigger of a frame. Now, in the Sig department, there's a few different ones you can get. I don't know all of them off the top of my head, but I do know you can get the macro, things like that. Now, here's the real kicker that makes Sig just blow Glock out of the water on this one. Glock has not changed their design in a long time. They're basically the Dodge Grand Caravan of firearms. I said what I said. I love you, Glock, but you guys haven't changed your friggin' pistol design in forever. However, Sig is always innovating, and what Sig has done with the P365 and other models now is they have modularized this firearm, which means the only thing that you really need to keep the same is the trigger mechanism with the safety and the slide release and all that. You can swap parts out. So say you want to get the top, you want to get the macro top with the macro barrel because you want to be a little bit longer. You can do that. You can get the frame. You can put that in. You can swap all the parts out from other models of 365 and put them together to create a pistol that is your liking. Granted, I'd make sure you do it the right way. Don't just go slapping crap together and hope it works. But they did modularize the design, which makes it a lot nicer for someone that maybe you start off with a 365, you're like, man, I don't love this. You can just go buy the frame, the slide, the barrel, and all the parts, and all you have to do is buy those parts online, have them shipped to your door, and put the pistol together. As long as you don't change the trigger mechanism part, that is the part that makes this your pistol. Anyway, Sig has done some wonderful things with that. Glock, on the other hand, like I said, Dodge Grand Caravan. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look up a Dodge Grand Caravan from 2012 and 2025 and tell me what the difference is. Anyway, we're not getting into that. Ultimately, in my eyes, P365 100% takes the cake. There is no question about why it is one of the top sought-after pistols on the market for concealed carry when you're looking at micro compact pistols. Price point. Let's talk about that real quick before we end the video. The Glock comes in around $450, so not a bad price. The Sig P365, the standard version here, I'm not talking about any other ones, and I'm not talking about the TalkBack, I'm talking about the standard version, is about $500. Now, if you want to do the TalkBack model of the standard version, you can get that for about $550, and it's 12 plus 1 3 magazines and a, I don't know, holster, I guess Sig thought they needed. They should have just left it out. Honestly, it's useless in my opinion. But I'm not here to judge either one of these people. Yes, I am. That's what I'm here for. At the end of the day, the 365 takes the cake. And if that is what you're between, well, I highly recommend the 365. So thank you for joining along. I appreciate you watching. At this point, I'd love to see you subscribe so that you stay connected to the channel. Go ahead and hit the notification button so you get told the next time a video pops up. And hit that like button because you've made it this far. I really appreciate it. helps boost the content. Don't forget, you can also follow along on Instagram at armeddad.yt for more content. So, again, thank you for joining me. Until next time, keep your dog away from the ATF.